Nearly every time I walk in this hangar, there's always something different. There's either a new aeroplane or a new project going on. Every day is different around here. One day you might be working on an aeroplane, one day you might be doing composite work. Yorkshire's a very big place, and a place like this is something that I've never known as growing up, and it's brand new to the area. It simply changes every day, and it makes it very interesting, and it's a very interesting job actually. I don't even see it as a job. It's a shame that one day my placement will be up at this place. Birchwood here at Selby is it's an all-inclusive aircraft site. So, for example, this Cessna maybe one day in the future could be converted to a disabled aircraft, and that's the sort of techniques that we're going to be using on the other aircraft as well, such as the Zen Air, such as the Wassenaar, things like that.
During his childhood, Lewis would visit his grandparents in Florida. It was during those summer holidays that he started to dream about aviation. He's now at Birchwood in Yorkshire, where he'll undertake a 9 months paid internship as part of his aeronautical engineering degree.
The first time I did actually fly an aeroplane was when I was in America on a holiday, and I'd built it up in my head so much, and I was so nervous about it because I wanted it to live up to expectations, but it excelled those expectations. It was that fantastic. Growing up, everybody has a dream, and not everybody kind of follows through with that dream. Especially in aviation, there's a lot of people that might say no to you. They might say, oh, you're not clever enough, or you're not good enough to do various things. But I just said to them, don't listen, because I think anybody can get involved in aviation, whether it's if you don't think you're brainy enough to get into it, or there's something else like disability or gender, the things that we spoke about before. I just think you should ignore all of that and just go for it, because I think you've only got one life, and you might as well, if you want something, you might as well try and get it. My name's Lewis. I'm an aerospace technology student from Sheffield Hallam University. I'm down here at Birchwood near Selby, which is a private airstrip. Behind me here is a Cessna 175B. This was built in 1961, this particular one. When we bought this aeroplane, it was pretty much in pieces. It was the tail was separate, the wings were separate, the fuselage was separate. We certainly got some looks driving down the motorway with it. I was involved in putting all the tail back on, all the control surfaces on. That was one of the first things that I worked on. One of the most difficult parts was connecting the cables back up. That wasn't the easiest of jobs because they've got to be absolutely perfect. The original variant of this was a tail dragger, and you can still see some of the remnants of it in the aeroplane itself. But obviously this is a tri-gear now, as you can see. This place is very diverse, and it wants to put more diversity into aviation, which I don't think in the past it's had. Through my time working here, I've met a lot of very inspirational people that in the past I've never really kind of considered for somebody, if they had a disability for example, to get into aviation, and until I've started here that's something that I never really realised. Today I met a really interesting person called Dave Sykes, and he flew from London to Sydney in a microlight, and he's also planning to fly to Antarctica in a microlight. And it's been such a shame since the first disabled RAF fighter pilot Douglas Bader took to the skies for now aviation to become diverse for people disabled. Dave Sykes really sort of break the barrier that it should have always been open to everybody. But places like this are making it open to everybody, and I'm glad that I'm involved in it, and I want to keep getting involved in it. This is your altimeter. This gives you your aircraft's height measured in feet, and this is relative to the ground, so if you're over land or if you're over sea, you adjust it as necessary.
We all need to be given the chance to shine. Lewis is not only learning about inclusive aviation, but he's also maximising his learnership at Birchwood by getting to do lots of different things.
Before I started working here, things looked bleak in getting into aviation, but working here has really opened a lot of doors and my prospects have increased. When I first came down here and met Martin, it's always like a shy, nervous encounter, but I could tell that he trusted me and he was going to trust me throughout the year. And even that moment, that first meeting, and he had no idea of what I could do, but there are people out there who will say yes to you and give you that chance. When you've got somebody that believes in you and asks you to do things and trusts you to do things, it really does make you feel like, hey, hang on a minute, I can do this, I can really get into this and be a success. This aircraft here was the main one that I've focused on, and ever since I started here I've been looking forward to getting stuck into this one, and now it's almost ready to fly. It's really satisfying to know that I've put the work into this and get it ready to take its first flight.
You never know the gangster, me say them in a jungle. Well, you never know the article, me say them in a jungle. Well, you never know shy effects, man, big in a jungle.
There are many misconceptions about who aviation is for. Many of the world's most talented pilots come from all walks of life.
Flying has always been classed as a rich man's sport and a rich man's game, and I don't think that's the case at all, and anybody can get involved, whether you earn £100,000 a year or £15,000 a year. It's not an issue. If you want to do it, just do it.
We're very open source at Birchwood, and we want our young team members to get the most out of their internship, which is why it's important for them to get an insight into all aspects of our operations.
This is kind of like a second home in a way. Well, I've been working here at Birchwood for 9 months, and the variation of things that I've done is incredible. I've been digging out ponds with great big diggers. I've been cutting the runway, planning out the runway where that's going to be. I've been building up fences. I've been doing brickwork, engineering work, welding work, anything you can think of I've done here. There's a lot of different aeroplanes that are kit planes that you essentially buy and build yourself. And I think that would be the way that I would sort of utilise my engineering skills with my flying skills. So one day in the future I could buy my own kit, build it myself, I could go on CAD and do some variations of it, some modifications, and then I could fly it once it's complete. That's more of a hobby. My dream job in aviation is to be an airline pilot. A lot of children have dreams, and being an airline pilot is one of the most exciting lives I can think of, and I hope that this gives me the experience and knowledge to hopefully get there one day.